Hello everybody, welcome to a very special video because we have done it. We have passed our next milestone. We have over 200 subscribers. More than 200 of you wonderful lunatics have decided that you'd like to see more of my content, and to mark the occasion we're doing a Q&A of course, but towards the end of the video there'll be a couple of announcements of other things I'm doing to mark the occasion as well. In the background you can see footage of the World of Warcraft Classic launch night, which happened the Monday before this video goes out. This glorious absurdity which I had both the absolute privilege and the sheer misfortune to be a part of. Incidentally, I am going to start doing some Warcraft videos. They'll be starting this coming Sunday, but yeah, back to the task in hand. So, to kick things off, MHD asks, what is your computer specs? And this reminds me, just my computer's getting quite old now. It's coming up 6 years old. I tend to keep my computers for about 6 to 7 years, and by the time I get rid of them, they are absolutely Stone Age. But this one has held up remarkably well. It's the first computer I built myself, so I had some control over the components that went into it, so that helped me to future-proof it a little bit. But it's an Intel i7-4770K. It's got 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. There's an Asus motherboard in there. I don't know which one it is. Can't remember off the top of my head. I've got an NVIDIA GTX 760 in there, which could do with upgrading in the not-too-distant future. I've got a 0.5 terabyte SSD. I've got a 1 terabyte high-performance hard drive, which I use sort of as an overflow from that. It's also where I do all the YouTube stuff. I've also got a 4 terabyte hard drive just for archiving purposes. That's about all I can remember off the top of my head. There will be other bits as well, but well, that's the core components. I mean, other bits and pieces I've got. I run a 3-monitor setup. I've got a standard 1080p monitor. I've got a 1280 by 1024 monitor either side. I've got a Satex X52 sat on the desk just for when I play things like Elite Dangerous, or a bit of retro gaming, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, that sort of stuff. But yeah, those are the main things. Anyway, next up we have a question from, oh god, how do you pronounce that? It could be anything from Una Pintade to Yoon Pintade. My sincere apologies, but the question is, do you know Windforge? And if yes, could you do a video about it? It could do with some exposure. It's not one of those games that's come up on my radar, if I'm being honest. I did take a look at it before I started this video. It looks like an interesting concept, but maybe if I get a few spare quid, I might check it out in a bit more detail, but no plans in the immediate future, I'm afraid. Next up, we have sort of two questions going in the same direction. Bijou King asks, are you going to start a KSP2 series when it comes out? And Daniel Garcia asks, what do you think of KSP2? Coming 2020, super hyped, OMG. As well you might be, Daniel. Yeah, this one caught me by surprise, and it not just me, it turns out. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be sad to lose the progression that's been going on with Kerbal Space Program as it is, but I can sort of understand the reasons behind it. Also, it's going to be a shame that it's not Squad developing it, but I'm sure the new developer will do a bang-up job. I mean, it seems to be basically what we'd end up with is they'd let, KSP evolve for another 5 years with all the content additions that would have come with that, and then just torn down the whole thing and rebuilt it up with more modern architecture and souped-up graphics. So, as I said, sad to lose, the progression that we're going through at the moment, but yes, I am excited. I am really looking forward to playing it when it comes out. Those graphics, some of the graphics look amazing. I know not all of them in the trailer were sort of proper gameplay footage, but it's still, some of the stuff that did look pretty good. Next up, Josiah Ricardo asks, what will you do if you get 1 million subs? Wow. Seriously question the way the universe operates? No, I don't know. I haven't even given that some thought. I mean, I've got my fingers tightly crossed for 1,000. which, according to my Social Blade projections, should be roughly a year from now. I haven't even thought about the possibility of 10,000 or 100,000, or let alone 1,000,000. But I mean, having enough subs to do this full time would obviously be beyond a dream. And also, I mean, I'd have enough money coming in to actually buy all the games I wanted to play for the channel and get all the DLC without having to worry about my other outgoings. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I mean, beyond that, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, 1,000,000 will be well beyond that point, but I think that's about as good an answer as I can give. My apologies for that, but yeah, moving on. Next up, it's a trio of questions by Daniel Garcia. First of all, what is your proudest moment in KSP? Honestly, that was probably the Juna landing that I did during The Journey Begins, the first series I did on this channel. I just think, because I overcooked the whole thing a little bit and made it into this quite grandiose mission, and also because I was recording it for a video, when I successfully landed, the feeling of joy that I experienced was something that wasn't matched before that, and hasn't been matched since. So I think I have to say that. Two kind of related questions follow that up. What is your favourite game that you currently play for this channel? And what's one game you play that you don't record for this channel but would like to? Well, there is kind of a game that's between those two states, and that's World of Warcraft Classic, which I haven't done a video for yet, but will be releasing a video for on Sunday. But discounting that, favourite game that I do play on the channel, I'm not really a person that does favourites. My preferences tend to swing about the place regularly. I mean, I do enjoy playing RimWorld. I do enjoy playing Kerbal Space Program. As for the one game you play that you don't record for this channel but would like to, I think there's sort of two. If I had to say what games do I really like that I don't record for this channel, there's two. There's sort of Grand Theft Auto and there's Football Manager. I don't think this is really a Football Manager kind of channel, so probably I'm going to say Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I might do some Grand Theft Auto videos in the future. I don't know if that's the sort of thing you'd like to see, then please let me know in the comments. But again, I think that's about as good an answer as I can give for those two questions. Next up, David Boller asks, what do you think of YouTube and what do you expect from it in the future? This is one of those broad questions where it's a bit difficult to pin down a specific answer. I mean, I like it. I use it a lot myself. I think it's a fantastic resource. That's one among the reasons why I started a channel. As for what I expect from it in the future, I don't know. I mean, from a creator perspective, of course, there's going to be the UI quote improvements. As for a broader prediction, I think they're probably going to try and strengthen their streaming offering, to both creators and to viewers, because I think whatever sort of streaming they have out there, it's going to be used. I mean, there's so many people using YouTube, just a ridiculous number, that it's going to be used. But I don't think the product as it is in a position to compete seriously with other platforms like Twitch. And if they want to start trying to muscle in on a bit more of that market share, I think they're going to have to make some changes there. So I can easily see them doing that. Next up, and to finish us off, we have a pair of questions by Arctifier. It was originally 3, but one of them kind of got answered anyway in the intervening time. So we'll start with, what is your favourite kind of tea? Well, being British, I of course have a favourite kind of tea. My wife sort of almost collects tea. I mean, not deliberately, but she just accumulates it. We have sort of like a shelf in a cupboard that's just different types of tea. But myself, I just like an ordinary tea. I tend to drink decaf because I started to find that caffeine wasn't really agreeing with me that much, so I decided to chuck that in. So just an ordinary decaf tea or a Red Bush. My uncle kind of turned up for a visit one day with a box of Redbush tea bags and said, try one of these, and I really liked it. So I'll either have that or an ordinary decaf, depending on where my mood takes me at the time. And finally, will we ever get a Discord server? Good question. Obviously, I think a Discord server is one of those things I'd like to have in the long run. But I think if I was to have one, there's sort of a minimum level of engagement I'd like to sustain with it. And at the moment, I just don't have that time to spare. If this channel keeps picking up, maybe later on I can sort of justify spending that extra time on channel-related things. But I'm afraid, and to my genuine regret, that in the immediate future I don't have any plans to start one, I'm afraid. So yes, that is all the questions I have. I hope I have answered them to your satisfaction. And now, I did say there was going to be a couple of announcements at the end of this video. So here goes. The first one is I am going to start up my Twitter. I registered a Twitter for this ages ago. I have done sod all with it. So, I mean, only just today I've actually followed the first people on it. I've only followed Scott Manley and another YouTuber so far, but I'll be putting a link in the description. I'll be starting to use that. I think the first post will probably be announcing this video. But yeah, I'll be starting to use that to engage with you guys and anybody else who wants to. So that should be fun. Secondly, I am going to start streaming. I don't know when. It's not going to be immediate. I'm going to be moving house at some point in September. And the internet here is a little dodgy. I think it's probably the Wi-Fi signal. So I'm kind of thinking I might wait until we're in the new place and then see what the signal's like there and then take whatever steps I need to rectify it and then start streaming in earnest. But I will be starting to stream before too long. I imagine it will be mostly KSP and Warcraft. So yes, that is all I have from you. So I suppose that's all I have from me as well. I just want to say it's been an interesting time for the channel. We've not long passed 100 views a day average. We're just coming up on 10 hours viewed a day average. And I just want to say a huge and massive thank you to each and every one of you for making this possible. You cannot possibly believe how much this means to me. My genuine, sincere thank you. And hopefully this channel will be moving on to bigger and better things. And I hope you're there for the ride with me. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you next time.